Right, number 15. Which of the following scatter plot shows a relationship that is appropriately modeled with the equation y equal to ax to the b, where a is a positive and b is negative? Okay, so we're trying to pick out a model to represent this. Okay, and then what we have here is first, let's look at the equation here. Okay, so this is y equal to ax to the b. Okay, so no matter if A is positive, negative, we'll talk about that later. But for now, if you just look at this equation in general, right, we have to recognize this is an exponential equation, okay, because we see B is in the exponent, right? So we have this equation part as exponent. So it's not a linear equation. If it's a linear equation, it should follow the linear equation, slope-intercept form will be mx plus b. Okay, we don't have a number in the exponent. Right, so we know for exponential equation, it should give us some kind of curve. Right, so it's not a straight line. Right, so we can eliminate a because a, if you look at the scatter plot, right, it seems like the line best fit should be a straight line. Let me just rewrite it. Yeah, so it should be something like that. It goes straight down. Right, and we said here it should be exponential, so not a straight line. Okay. So what we can do now, we can also eliminate D, right? Look at D, these dots are all over the place. There's like no particular relationship. Okay, so it doesn't show a relationship, so it's not gonna work. Okay, so we're left with B and C. Those two could be possible because they all kind of give us some kind of a curve, right? See this one curved down like that, and then C curves upward like that. Okay. But which one is it? Okay, so what we have here is now we have to think about the positive and the negative numbers here. So you know A is positive and B is negative. Okay, so A, that's a number in front. Okay, for any exponential equation, the A value is always gonna be the initial amount. And graphically speaking, that should be our y-intercept. Okay, so that's a number that we begin with. So on the graph, it should be the y-intercept. Okay, and so A have to be positive, meaning the y-intercept have to be a positive number. So you look at B is definitely, y-intercept definitely around 20, right? So that's positive. And C, we could argue either way, right? It seems like it's somewhat positive, right? But it's very close to zero, but it seems like it's positive as well. Okay, although it's a smaller positive number. So just based off that, we can really eliminate C. Okay, we can eliminate answer C. So we do have to look at the B value, right? So the B value is a negative. That's part of the exponent. What we can do is we can just like give it a try, right? We plug in some number for B. See, B is like a negative exponent. Say we have y equal to, let's just say if a is like 10, for example, right? And if b is like a negative value, so we say that's times x to the -1, for example, then we can plug in some number and try and see what kind of pattern we have, right? See let's just say when x is 10, right? When x is 10, okay, we can try this out. If we solve for y, this has nothing to do with these two graphs. I'm just trying to plug in some number to see the pattern here. So my x is 10, y is 10 times 10 to the -1. Well, 10 to the -1 is actually 1 over 10. Okay. You can also type in the calculator, but it should be 1 over 10. So you put it under the fraction, the exponent will be positive. Okay, so it'll be 1 over 10 to the +1. And then that time 10, we get 1. Okay, so we get 1. What if the x value increases to 20? See here, based on our model, if the x was negative, as the x value increases, this will be 20 to the -1. So it'll be 10 times 1 over 20. I get 10 over 20, which is 1/2. Right, see, as the x value gets bigger, the y value here actually gets smaller. Okay, so you can try some more number, but it should be the same pattern. As x increases, y value have to decrease. Okay, so that means if you look at these two graphs between B and C, we know as we go towards the right, as x value increase, the graph should go down in general. Okay, it should decrease. So that should be B for our answer. Okay, because C is an exponential increase, it goes up. All right, yeah, so if B is a negative value, right, then that the graph should go downward instead of going up. Okay, so for 15, our answer should be B. That's our final answer.